Welcome back to 9M Discovery, dear viewers. China has been making strenuous efforts to combat desertification, a problem familiar to many. According to official figures, between 2016 and 2020 alone, the country transformed over 21.7 million acres of barren land into lush green areas. On average, approximately 4.3 million acres were rehabilitated each year. But it didn't stop there. In 2022, China planted an additional 9.2 million acres of forest, and just 1 year later, that number reached 9.7 million acres. Looking at these figures, it's easy to imagine a massive reforestation campaign underway. Each year, millions of trees sprout, acting as a natural barrier against the spread of desert. However, the story isn't simply about planting trees. Many experts believe that while reforestation is an important step, if deserts continue to expand, China may have to maintain this tree planting not just for a few decades, but possibly for centuries. So, is there a more effective way to solve this problem? China, with its determination and ingenuity, certainly cannot stop at just planting trees. Instead, a groundbreaking solution is gradually emerging, and we will now reveal that mystery. Over time, up to 85% of plants grown in arid lands cannot survive. This is not a prediction, but the conclusion of scientists from Beijing Forestry University. Plants are inherently miraculous, but in the face of nature's harshness, not all species can stand firm and thrive. In vast deserts, especially the Taklamakan Desert in China, the sandy soil is unstable. Strong winds blow away grains of sand, causing the ground to constantly shift. According to UNESCO, the giant sand dunes here can move up to 65.6 feet per year. Under such conditions, plants have almost no chance of survival. Their roots can be exposed to the scorching sun or buried under thick layers of sand. Desert winds not only carry sand, but also violently whip against tree trunks, tearing branches and leaves, causing plants to wither and die before they can even grow. Therefore, to combat desertification, China has launched a large-scale campaign, planting trees to green barren land. Every year on March 12th, known as Tree Planting Day, millions of people participate in planting trees on arid lands. By regulation, citizens aged 11 to 60 must plant 3 to 5 trees or perform tree planting activities. This special day has also become a part of many families' lives. Some couples choose to get married before Tree Planting Day to celebrate their wedding anniversary by planting a sapling. Thanks to these persistent efforts, an estimated 50 billion trees have been planted over the years. This method has proven significantly effective in areas with suitable conditions. However, in areas where sand constantly shifts, planting trees is not simple. It's not just about planting. The right species and planting method must be chosen. To increase the chances of tree growth, a seemingly simple yet highly effective method has been discovered, using straw to protect young trees from wind and shifting sand. This is considered a clever and innovative solution. Straw is not simply the dried remains of plants. It is a valuable resource, often used as animal feed, as bedding for livestock, or for many other purposes. Especially in China, considered a leading rice-producing nation. The amount of straw harvested annually is enormous. As of 2024, China's rice-growing area reached over 30 million hectares, producing more than 207 million tons of rice. According to the International Rice Research Institute, the amount of straw harvested from rice is roughly equal to the rice yield, meaning that from rice alone, China can harvest over 200 million tons of straw annually. If we include all crops, this figure reaches approximately 1 billion tons, a colossal amount. So, where does all this straw go? Not all of it becomes animal feed or fuel. A portion is used for a crucial task, combating desertification. The straw is brought to desert regions and formed into large nets spread across the sand, creating square grids like a giant chessboard. It sounds simple, but it's actually a very arduous task. Imagine this. Transporting hundreds of thousands of tons of straw to the desert is already a challenge, not to mention the perseverance and precision required to set up this system. First, trenches must be dug, then the straw carefully placed in them. Performing these tasks in the scorching heat of the desert, where shade is scarce and temperatures can reach tens of degrees Celsius, is truly a significant challenge. Yet, thousands of Chinese workers persevere, knowing that the final result is incredibly worthwhile. After digging the trenches and placing the straw, seeds of hardy plants that can withstand drought and adapt to the harsh desert conditions such as shrubs or some native grasses are sown. When the wind blows, the seeds are carried away, hitting the straw barriers and getting stuck inside, thus preventing them from being washed away. Gradually, this layer of straw decomposes, becoming a natural source of nutrients that enriches the soil. After about 3 years, the straw bales will completely decompose, leaving behind a layer of soil with higher moisture content, suitable for plant growth. At that point, living grass barriers will sprout and green the land that was once just white sand. At first glance, this method seems simple, just a way to retain a small portion of soil fertility in harsh desert conditions. But when scientists began researching, they discovered that the straw bales offer much more than that. They not only help plants take root, but also act as a protective layer, retaining dust and nutrients on the soil surface. As a result, the soil becomes more nutrient-rich, creating favorable conditions for plant growth and development. Areas where this method has been applied have seen noticeable changes. Richer vegetation, less soil erosion, and most importantly, a gradual recovery of the ecosystem. When comparing areas with and without straw bales, scientists found clear differences in plant diversity, grass cover, and soil physicochemical properties. This shows that, while not a magic solution that can instantly transform a desert into a lush green meadow, this method does significantly increase the chances of crop survival in harsh environments. Besides improving soil quality, straw bales also act as a natural barrier, protecting plants from the harsh effects of wind and sand. It's well known that deserts are not only arid but also experience strong winds that carry sand and dust, easily uprooting young plants or completely burying weak seedlings. However, with straw bales, the sand is held back, preventing it from moving freely. This stabilizes the soil around the plant roots, giving the plants a better chance to grow. Studies show that this system can reduce sand movement by up to 99.5%, an astonishing figure. When the sand stops moving, plants are no longer buried or uprooted, and soil moisture is retained for longer. This significantly increases the survival rate of plants in desert environments, offering hope for areas previously considered unsuitable for cultivation. However, despite its effectiveness, this method still faces a major challenge. Installing large-scale straw mats requires significant effort and time. To overcome this problem, Chinese scientists have found a more optimal solution. Instead of manually arranging each small straw mat, they invented long straw ropes that can be laid on the ground in just a few simple steps. These ropes are pre-manufactured in a factory and then simply brought to the area to be reforested and stretched out, eliminating the need for individual installations. Thanks to this method, the deployment of the straw mat system is faster, saving up to 60% of the labor compared to the traditional method. Not only does it save effort, but the machine-produced straw ropes are also significantly more durable. While manually made straw mats typically only last about 3 years, the industrially produced straw ropes can maintain their effectiveness for about 6 years, twice the previous lifespan. In particular, when it's time to clean up or move the system, one simply pulls one end of the rope, and the entire layer of straw automatically coils up neatly. This makes reusing the straw rope easier, contributing to reduced costs and effort in the desert reforestation process. A seemingly simple method yields unexpected results. These small squares of straw not only help stabilize the soil, block wind, and retain water, but also open up opportunities for the regeneration of barren lands. Thanks to them, desolate deserts are now beginning to show patches of green. bringing hope for a future where nature can be revived, even in the harshest environments. But for a country constantly facing the threat of desertification, planting trees alone is not enough. To prevent land from being swallowed by sand, people must find more effective solutions. One of the most notable innovations is the automated straw transport system, an advanced technology that makes soil protection much easier and more efficient. This system operates simply, but is extremely useful. By driving a specialized vehicle through arid areas, it automatically forms strips of straw and spreads them evenly over the sandy surface. In particular, the machine not only spreads the straw, but also automatically digs small trenches to place the straw in, ensuring the straw adheres firmly to the soil and minimizing disturbance from wind. Previously, to prevent the straw from being blown away, people had to manually cover it with a layer of sand. But with this new system, everything has been completely mechanized. The machines handle almost all the steps, with only one manual task remaining: planting seedlings in the prepared locations. Although some stages still rely on human labor, overall, this method increases efficiency by 4 to 6 times compared to the previous manual straw spreading method. However, this modern system cannot be implemented everywhere. In China, a method combining manual labor and machinery has been developed to adapt to local conditions. First, workers use a specialized tool to dig trenches in the sand. While still physically demanding, this work is much easier than using traditional shovels. The straw is then carefully spread into furrows, and a special machine comes along, compacting the straw and covering it with a thin layer of sand. Compared to fully automated systems, this method is more manual, but in many cases, especially in hard-to-reach areas where motorized vehicles cannot access, it remains a useful solution for protecting the soil from sand encroachment. Many might wonder, are these straw nets really as effective as expected? To answer this question, let's look back at one of the clearest examples of the effectiveness of this method, the Baotou-Lanzhou Railway. Built in 1958, this railway connects Baotou in Inner Mongolia with Lanzhou City in Gansu Province. Remarkably, 87 miles of the line traverse the Tunggar Desert, a region previously deemed unsuitable for railway construction due to its extremely harsh natural conditions. The Tunggar Desert is not only a barren wasteland, but also a powerful sand-spreading machine. Furious winds from this area can carry dust hundreds of kilometers, affecting even populated areas. Residents of Zhongwei, a nearby city, frequently face severe sandstorms. There were days when the wind was so strong it could blow people away, whipping sand all over their food, and when they got home, everyone was covered in a thick layer of dust. Under such conditions, not only was laying the tracks difficult, but even after the railway was completed, maintaining and operating, it was an extremely challenging task. Engineers tried many methods to combat the sand, from spreading gravel and asphalt to using straw mats, but none could withstand the strongest winds. Then, one day, a chance event changed everything. When a worker accidentally stuck a bundle of straw into the sand with a shovel during a storm, no one noticed. But when the storm passed, all the surrounding vegetation was buried under sand. Only that bundle of straw remained standing. This moment led to a crucial discovery. Straw could help hold sand together and prevent wind erosion. This was the first prototype of the straw netting technique that is now widely used in combating desertification. From that time on, this method was applied to protect the Baotou-Lanzhou Railway from sand encroachment. Initially, many feared that within 30 years, the entire line would be completely buried under sand. But reality proved otherwise. To this day, the railway remains operational. Along both sides of the tracks, the straw mats are still there, not only protecting the railway, but also playing a crucial role in maintaining the desert ecosystem. This is clear evidence that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective in the fight against harsh nature. It is worth noting that at that time, the Chinese did not stop at using straw to stabilize the sand. They also planted various shrubs and drought-resistant plants in the straw mats. Thanks to this, not only did these plants survive amidst the vast expanse of sand in the Tengger Desert, but they also thrived, gradually transforming the area around the railway into a vibrant green landscape. The success of this method quickly gained national recognition, and in 1988, the Sand Stabilization Project on the Baotou-Lanzhou railway line made a significant impact. In 1994, the project was even awarded a special prize for national scientific and technological advancement. Furthermore, the Zhongwei Sand Control Project in the area was also honored among the world's top 500 environmental protection projects. Scientists have called it a miracle in the history of desert management, as it not only protected transportation infrastructure, but also offered a green solution for seemingly hopeless areas. Remarkably, this initiative was not limited to China. Many other countries, also facing desertification, have learned from this model and applied it to their own nations. This marks the first time a Chinese anti-sand solution has been widely adopted globally, clearly demonstrating its sustainable effectiveness. However, the Chinese didn't just stop at controlling the desert, they conquered it. The clearest evidence of this was in 2022, when they officially opened the first high-speed highway through the Tengger Desert. But what's remarkable is that this road wasn't a standalone project, but part of a larger highway system connecting Qingdong Gorge and Zhongwei. Building a nearly 122-kilometer road across a desert filled with sandstorms and harsh weather conditions was no simple task. To protect the road from sand encroachment, a special defense system was established. In addition to the familiar straw bales, sturdy gravel belts were constructed to stabilize the sand and prevent it from overflowing onto the road surface. This is not just a simple transportation route, but a testament to human willpower and adaptability in the face of harsh nature. Another interesting point is that, despite the continuous development of modern technology, the traditional method of stabilizing sand using straw is still widely used today. Even in the 2020s, workers still stabilize the sand using this traditional method, spreading straw on the sand surface and then using shovels to compact it, without the need for any machinery. This method is simple, economical, and environmentally friendly. As a result, the project saved approximately 3.99 million cubic meters of construction materials and 598 million liters of water, an astonishing figure. Beyond focusing on construction, China also cared about the experience of those traveling through this desert. They established 2 service areas along the route where tourists can stop, rest, and admire the majestic scenery of one of the world's harshest regions. This not only ensured safety, but also created an interesting tourist attraction. Looking at the straw matting and green areas along the route, one can be confident that this road will stand the test of time. After all, the straw matting system helped protect the nearby railway for over 50 years, so there's no reason why it can't continue to protect new roads in the future. But if you think this is the only road China has built across the desert, that's not the end of the story. In an even harsher place, the Taklamakan Desert, China has also created a road that runs through it, with 80% of its length traversing the area known as the Sea of Death. The total length of this road is 561 kilometers, and a large portion of it also needs strict protection from sand encroachment. Once again, the straw bales and resilient green strips that withstand the wind and sand have proven their superior effectiveness. Looking at all this, it's clear that this is not just a story about a single transportation project or a single engineering solution. This is a journey of human determination in the battle against nature, where creativity, perseverance, and strong will have helped transform barren lands into impressive structures. But this is only a small part of China's efforts to combat desertification. There are still many more fascinating stories waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining us on today's exploration. Nature always holds wonders, and each bird species has its own unique and fascinating story. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new discoveries. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts or suggest topics you'd like to explore next. Have a great day, and see you on our next exploration journey.